Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Japan Life Hacks. I'm delighted to have you join me for today's video. In this video, you will be learning about various types of deposits. Even as ordinary peoples, we use bank accounts such as savings or time deposit accounts. Similarly, businesses conduct their operations using bank accounts. You will learn about the journal entries companies make when conducting transactions using bank accounts. Now, let's get started. The first content. Basic journal entries regarding deposits. In bookkeeping, there are three types of deposit accounts to learn about. All of them fall under the asset category. Savings accounts, time deposits, checking accounts. I'll briefly explain each of them. First, savings accounts is a bank account that allows the deposit and withdrawal of cash freely. For us ordinary citizens, it is the most familiar type of bank account. Let's consider the following journal entry. Company A deposited 300 yen in a savings account. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, savings accounts 300. Credit, cash 300. Second, the cash deposited into a time deposit account cannot be withdrawn until the maturity date. The duration from deposit to maturity can vary, such as 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, and so on. Although the deposited cash is tied up until maturity, this bank account offers higher interest rates in exchange. Let's consider the following journal entry. Company A deposited 300 yen in a time deposits. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, time deposits 300. Credit, cash 300. Finally, the checking accounts is not for individuals like us, but is used by businesses. Among the deposits in bookkeeping, the most important one is the checking accounts. By having a checking accounts, companies can issue checks, enabling them to make payments. Let's consider the following journal entry. Issued a check to pay employee salaries of 100,000 yen. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, salaries expense 100,000. Credit, checking accounts 100,000. When issuing a check, it is treated as a decrease in the checking accounts. In other words, credit the checking accounts. Checks frequently appear in the study of bookkeeping. Therefore, let's delve a bit deeper into checks. The second content. Other people's check. Let's consider the journal entries for transactions as shown. For both A and B company, PC refers to computers used in the office. First, let's think about the journal entry for Company A. Company A purchased a computer for 100,000 yen from Company B and issued a check to Company B. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, equipment 100,000. Credit, checking accounts 100,000. The computer transaction is accounted for as an equipment. Issuing a check is recorded as a decrease in the checking accounts. Next, let's think about the journal entry for Company B. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, cash 100,000. Credit, equipment 100,000. From Company B's perspective, they received a check issued by another party, Company A. If you bring other person's check to the bank, you can quickly exchange it for cash. Therefore, other person's checks are treated as cash. As Company B no longer possesses the computer they owned, they will credit the equipment account. Please remember to treat checks received from others as cash. The third content. Self-issued check. Earlier, we learned about journal entries for cases where checks issued by others were received. Now, let's delve into cases where the check issued by oneself is received. Let's consider the relationship among three companies, as shown. Suppose Company A issued a check to Company B to purchase a computer, and the check flowed from B, C, A, ultimately returning to its origin, Company A. Let's consider journal entries from the perspective of Company A. On January 1st, Company A purchased a computer for 100,000 yen from Company B and issued a check to Company B. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, equipment 100,000. Credit, checking accounts 100,000. Company A issued a check, so it will be processed as a decrease in the checking accounts. Next, on January 10th, Company B handed a check issued by Company A to Company C for the payment of liabilities. The journal entry is as follows. No journal entries. This transaction does not affect Company A's journal entries, so there is no journal entry. Next, on January 20th, Company A sold land for 100,000 yen to Company C and received a check issued by Company A. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, checking accounts 100,000. Credit, land 100,000. The key point here is the debit entry being made to the checking accounts. When receiving a self-issued check, it's recorded as an increase in the checking account. This is because the expected decrease of 100,000 yen in the checking accounts on January 1st, which would typically happen, no longer occurs. Therefore, to cancel out the entry, we credit the checking accounts. The fourth content. Overdraft. Companies may encounter situations requiring sudden significant payments. By entering into an overdraft agreement, they can borrow money from a bank, up to the set limit, and make payments from the checking account. Let's consider journal entries. I paid for the purchase of a 10 million yen piece of land from the checking accounts. However, the balance in the checking account is only 1 million yen. A prior overdraft agreement with the bank for a limit of 100 million yen had been arranged. The journal entry is as follows. Debit, land 10 million. Credit, checking accounts 10 million. Simply put, a journal entry recording the decrease in the checking account would suffice. It represents a debt of 9 million yen. However, this situation will require additional processing during the closing of accounts, which I will cover in the following video. Thank you for watching the video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Your comments are the driving force behind the creation of my next video, so please feel free to leave them. Thank you very much in advance. See you next time.